no bugger wants you for ages. Vlogmas day 6. Hello. Different location this time. I'm in my car. We're just going to excuse the box of stuff over there that I need to take to the storage unit, so we're just going to ignore that. Does anybody else use the boot of their car as a temporary storage unit? I'm sure I'm not the only one. But yeah, so today I have been at this wallpaper company based in Lancashire doing some filming for their upcoming collections and like their content over the next couple of months. Just doing some photo, video content, that kind of thing. And I actually really like having like little extra bits of jobs. So for the most part I am a full-time knitwear designer. That's how I make my income. That's kind of like my baseline. That I work for myself, selling my own patterns, selling my own products, doing my own thing, nobody else involved. But then I do actually really like having another couple of freelance things. My main freelance thing that I've done on and off in one way or another for years is working for a shoe brand called Lanks. I'll be with them on Monday on a photo shoot, which my role there has, included some modelling, some photography, some socials, some marketing, just bits of all sorts. Over the last few years, always just freelance. Like, I've never had a normal job. I've never had a salaried job at all. It's always just been freelance or working for myself, which I guess, like, some people say it's scary, but I think because I've never known anything else, it's not scary. I never had like a full-time job that I had to leave. I've just built this up alongside school at first. I sold my first pattern when I was 12. So yeah, alongside school, and then bits alongside college, bits alongside university, and then until it was kind of like full-time alongside part-time uni, and then full-time doing my own thing. It's all I've ever known. But yeah, it's nice to, I find, as someone who for the most part works from home by myself, for myself, it's nice to every now and then have these little bits of other jobs where you're part of a team, you're part of a, a plan and I don't know, just like a bigger business than just a one-person business, but something where I'm one cog in the marketing team rather than marketing being one little bit of my job that has to be everything, if that even makes sense. And I think just having like colleagues to see, people to have a works do with that I'm going on next week, that kind of thing, it's nice to have a little bit of that. And nothing that I've ever done has been like a job I've applied for with a CV or anything. I mean, if I had to sort of do a CV now, it'd obviously mostly be knitwear design, but it would have some photography, some modelling, some video work, some styling, some like outreach. What else have I done? Worked in model agencies, social media, done socials like for other brands. What else have I done? A lot of it all kind of comes back to taking a half decent photo or video in one way or another. I've done a few weddings. It's not something that I've ever advertised as doing, but kind of through word of mouth, and everything's just kind of come about quite organically, really. I've never applied for a job. Like I said, it's kind of one of those things where I think the more you put yourself out there and actually do what it is that you enjoy doing, be it photography or something, the more chance that opportunities are going to come your way. And I know I'm obviously saying that with X, Y and Z different privileges that have helped me get to that position, but and I know that sometimes that's easier said than done, and certainly doesn't apply to every situation, but just in general I found that it's kind of, for me at least, and obviously I'm very lucky to be in this position, but it's always worked out. I think kind of I've got used to the fact that some months will be quieter, some months will be busier, some months sales will go down, some months they'll go up. Sometimes you've just got to kind of ride the wave, and I think I used to get a lot more stressed out about it than, well, it still does stress me out, of course, if I have like a not so great month or a really quiet time, but just kind of knowing that cycle will always be the way. That's just how it is. It always is sod's law. It always is that you're busy and you're selling loads and everybody wants you and you're needed here, there and everywhere. It's always at the same time, and then no bugger wants you for ages. It's always like that. And kind of just knowing that that's how it's going to be makes me, I don't know, it's sort of taught me to pace myself a little bit when things are all go, 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 because you will crash. And when things are kind of, on a downward, or not on a downward, but not maybe as great as you'd like them to be, knowing that you just got to keep going, keep putting stuff out there, keep designing, keep sharing, whatever, and things will kind of pick up. And you just, I don't know, you never know what opportunities. I've ended up with this job, for example, because the owner of Lanks, who I've worked for a few years, is friends with one of the directors of this company, and then put my name forward. Oh, if you need someone for content and that kind of thing, go Lily's your gal. So that's how I've ended up here, and it's always just kind of been word of mouth stuff like that. I originally started working with Lanks because I bought a pair of shoes in the sample sale, took a photo and posted it on Instagram, and they reached out and were like, oh, that's a pair of men's shoes that you've bought there and styled with a dress, that's interesting, maybe we could do something with that. And then 5 years later, here we are. Just, I don't know, don't really know what I'm rambling about here, but that's just where I'm at right now. Glad to have these extra little bits and bobs alongside just working from home by myself all the time. That's the point of I was actually getting at. Home to a wallpapered bedroom. Hallelujah. Almost ready to get this room sorted now. However, a few little things. First being, I've realised that I forgot to paint this in the same colour as the skirting boards, so I need to just tidy up, get rid of all the old plaster, give that a bit of a neaten up and paint that now before the carpet goes down tomorrow. And also, a bit of floorboard here has a bit in the dust. I think that must have been using the ladder today, so that's annoying. It's all floorboards around it seem absolutely fine, checked. Joist is all solid and everything, so hopefully nothing too bad to worry about there. Just, yeah, a very old floorboard had pressure on it more than it has in a very long time. So my dad is checking if he has any planks in this correct size. If not, it'll be a trip to B&Q for me tonight or or tomorrow morning. Try and sort that out because I do not want to delay this carpet. Get that all fixed. But yeah, the floorboards in here, don't mind the Birkenstock and sock combination there. The floorboards in here, loads of people, when I posted photos of them, were like, oh, you should keep the boards, you should have the old wooden floorboards, but they really are old, and I don't think they would have ever intended to be seen. They're all kind of mismatched. Some really old, wide ones over here, really big gaps there. So yeah, it would take a lot of work to bring those back to an acceptable state, and a lot of air could get through and you get drafts through those gaps, so that's not happening, basically. Nice chunky underlaying carpet just over the same one as downstairs, and then it will feel nice and cosy. Let's hope this tea can get me through the job that I have to do. Tonight's turned out to be. I'd hoped that I could come home early afternoon, do a little bit of a sorting out here, and then just chill and knit for the afternoon. I was like, you know what, I've been up since really early editing and doing more photos and things. You know what, I'm just going to chill and actually have some knitting time. And then came in here and saw the wallpaper's all done. They're finished today. Very nice. Matches my new pyjamas. And yeah, saw that gaping hole in the floor. I was like, oh, for God's sake, here we go. It always seems to be that just when I think, all right, we're nearly there, then something comes up. So anyway, it turned out that one little section of the wooden floor was a different type of wood to the rest of it. It'd obviously been like patched up at some point. So that did have some woodworm in it, but we checked the joists and all the other planks around it and everything, and none of the others were affected. So it must just be because it was a different type of wood. So fingers crossed that's fine. But yeah, I did what any self-respecting grown-up did and ring my dad. So I was just like, what do I do here? Well, obviously knowing it needed to be replaced, but I'm all for learning these DIY skills and, you know, getting the tools and learning how to do things, but I did not have them to hand on a Thursday night, and the carpet's getting fitted on Friday morning. So I was like, this is kind of currently out of my tool set and skill set. So luckily my dad did have the tools required, so picked up the smallest plank of wood you could, which we've still got a ridiculous amount left over because it was literally like a foot long and a couple of inches wide, the bit that we needed. Cut that down to size and put it in there. And then free ask her if we couldn't find hammer to get the old nails out, so I had to post on the street WhatsApp group being like, anybody got a hammer? Come borrow, which luckily they did. And I realised this is probably the most boring story ever, but you can't make every day exciting, and if this is what we have to do on Vlogmas, then that's how it goes. So yeah, had to do that. We also tried to sort out the switches and sockets in here, which took a bit of doing and undoing and constantly turning the electricity on and off again. But I was like, I feel like this should be in my skill set. Fiddly little things and where you've got to poke things into tiny little holes. That sounds like something that a textile, knittery, sewing-y crafts person would be good at. So yeah, managed to do that. So they're looking much nicer now that they are like brushed brass, antique brass. I can't remember what it's called. They're just from Screwfix, but you know, sockets and light switches on there. So we're finally getting there, and tomorrow it should all come together. So hopefully, maybe tomorrow night I'll actually get some knitting time. Yeah, just with the various things of sorting and faffing and fixing and problems just seems to keep taking up all the time. And I'm told that this is just how it goes with houses, so there we go. Learning curve, isn't it? Just gotta roll with it. But yeah, tomorrow hopefully I'll be able to. And what I'm actually looking forward to being able to do is knit in bed and chill in bed sitting up, because with having just a mattress downstairs, we have no headboard. So I'm like, I do some knitting on the sofa maybe in the living room and then just go to bed, read a bit and go to sleep. Whereas what I used to do would be go to bed, maybe put some Netflix on, maybe read and knit at the same time, and I'd probably knit for a couple of hours, maybe not always that long, but for a little while in bed. And I think that time actually really added up to the amount that I was able to do. And obviously I've not had that at the minute because I can't really sit up on a mattress in the middle of a room. So yeah, maybe it's wishful thinking, but hopefully that will increase my knitting productivity in the next few days. So yeah, not the most exciting vlog today, I'm afraid. I didn't film too much for myself, obviously, whilst I was at the wallpaper factory, because I was shooting and filming for them all day. So hopefully have some nice content for their channels coming up, which should be good. And then yeah, when I ended up spending like an hour around with my neighbours when I went to go and collect the key from them this afternoon, which they're so sweet. I love the fact that it's a really friendly street. I just nipped over to pick up the key, just, oh, come in for a brew, it's all raining and everything, and just sat chatting there for a good while. So that was lovely. Nice to be surrounded by good people, isn't it? But I think I'm going to sign off here now and go read in bed, because I'm still reading that Carla book that I showed the other day that talks about, and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm at a gripping part, so I must go read some of that before I get too dozy. I think Jack's already asleep downstairs. We're doing very early starts, early nights and early mornings at the moment. I think the alarm's probably set for, I don't know, maybe 5 at the latest. So off I go to bed. Thanks for watching.